So you made it through part 1, and now
we're going to talk about the different materials involved in these. So there's a few different things that you want to look for and a few different tricks that we've found over the years of making these. Materials so we can get started here. Okay, this bag should be nice and heavy. Oh, what's in there? We'll find out in a sec. As far as tools go, all you really need is just some scissors, a good pair of scissors, not a cheap pair, some that will be able to cut rubber because we're going to be cutting bicycle tires. And also a lighter is going to be handy if you need to burn off any loose ends of tape, melt it together. You don't need a lighter, but it's handy. Also, you could give these little hairs that come a haircut, but then the problem with that is that they're going to continue to fray, so you might as well just burn them off. Give them a burn cut. It's better for it. Look at that. Toast, toast, toast. There we go. No more loose ends. Great.
So let's talk about buckles.
All right, so you'll see that we have a few different buckles here. So we have the classic parachute clip. You'll see this the most common. We have it in 2 different sizes. The bigger ones are actually a lot more handy to use, especially when we're creating the neck weight, which we'll show you in a minute. And they're also a lot easier to use this release. So with this big area here on the big buckle, it's really easy to squeeze your fingers in there. The smaller ones, you have to get used to it, and I can do it really quick because this is my neck weight, but often I'll see people picking it up and it's a little bit more and they fiddle with it for a couple seconds. So the bigger ones are a lot easier. Now over here we have 2 that have actually old snowboarding clips. So this is an old snowboarding binding that I took apart, and the nice thing about neck weights is that you can kind of tweak them and tailor them to your own needs. So when I'm teaching students, I like to use these because it's still a quick release. It comes off really easy, but now this can be adjusted to multiple neck sizes. So a student who's much smaller and has a thinner neck, we can use it on the small setting, and then on the thicker setting, you can pull it out to there really easily. Nice and comfortable for everyone. It's also nice for myself when I'm training in the pool, because if I feel a bit of tension, then I'll just loosen up a little bit and it feels great. So that's really handy to have.
Let's talk about tape.
Most commonly you'll see neck weights made out of electrical tape, which works, but the problem with that I've found is that it ages badly. You'll get this cracking. We had that problem with this neck weight too, and then we just retaped it with more electrical tape, but over time I've definitely found that the electrical tape doesn't hold up. Actually, this one's cracking here also, so this one's in need of retaping. The hockey tape, it's super durable. I love it for open water. You can go through wrecks. It's not going to get abrased on zebra mussels that we have here in the Great Lakes. Nice and durable, nice and flexible, and as a Canadian, hockey tape works great. Now my favorite is actually this silicone-based tape. It's really nice and flexible. So compared to the electrical tape, this is really nice. And it's smooth on the outside. You don't get any sort of drag, and it's nice and durable. It's never... This one is just as old as these, and it's actually older, and I don't see any cracks in it, so it's held up very well. So we have our tapes over here. We have our electrical tape. You can get in all sorts of different colors to make it nice and pretty.
Let's talk about bicycle tubes. Ah, hey, what you doing?
All right, so you'll see that these neck weights, they all have different thicknesses, and that's because of the thickness of the bicycle tube that we're using. So we have over here some bicycle tubes that are out of the package already. You can see that they're a little bit different in thicknesses. These are actually quite similar. A tiny bit thinner this one is. And how about this one? Then this is more thick. So thickness is important. Just a kind of general idea so that you kind of know what to look for. We'll tell you when we make them. 2.125, that's in inches. That's gonna be giving you about a 4-pound neck weight if you make it to the size of your neck. One like this, 2.3, is gonna be more like a 5 probably, and then one like this is huge, it's 2.8. It's gonna make you probably a 10-pound neck weight. So we'll see how that goes.
Let's talk about lead pellets.
Okay, so all those materials that we just talked about, the bicycle tire tubes, the clips, the tape, those are all really easy to get at your local hardware store or online. You can get it shipped really cheap, but what's difficult to get is actually the weight itself. So these are lead pellets, and these are copper pellets, and these are, you'll only be able to find in Canada anyways at a sporting store that sells hunting equipment. Like these I could get at Bass Pro Shops here in Canada. You can also probably get it at Cabela's, but if you try to get it online, you're going to be paying a lot for shipping because this is really quite heavy. This is 25 pounds. The copper pellets, they weigh a lot less, but I find them handy if you're trying to fine-tune your weight perfectly. You can actually do a mix of the copper and the lead. The copper will take up volume so that you fill up your tube nicely and it's nice and comfortable, but it's going to be a lot less heavy than the lead itself. So if you find that you made your neck weight, it's a little bit too heavy, you can take out some lead, put in some copper pellets, and perfectly fine-tune your buoyancy.
You need a weight scale. A shipping scale like this one or a baking scale would work perfectly fine to weigh your lead pellets before putting it into your bicycle tube. If you're using a baking scale, please make sure to clean it properly